Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the This Is Gonna Hurt podcast with Jay Gordon Duncan. And if you're wondering why the J, the answer is I'm not a bagpipe player. And if that joke doesn't make any sense to you, I encourage you to check out episode 0, where I explain that joke, as well as the purpose of the This Is Gonna Hurt podcast, where we talk about faith, family, fitness, finances, and sometimes fun. Hello, friends. How are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Last week you guys tuned into my episode about learning from my pitfalls and failures, where I shared 3 examples of times I just missed completely, lessons I learned from that. And I hope you get to learn a little bit as well. And you know what? That whole thing came from a series that I'm writing on Facebook and LinkedIn called something like I Was Arrogant, Desperate, or something. Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm up to 8 now. And that's a blog series where I just share the craziness of starting my own business and how I was arrogant and desperate and how all that fueled it. And it's turned into work stories. And so I'm enjoying that. It's given me an opportunity to exercise my writing and hopefully give you an opportunity to gain some insight to yourself and your business. So I thought last week I would compile that into an episode where everyone else got a chance to kind of hear that. And I shared some things in the podcast that I have not been sharing in the writing. So it's been a reflective season for me. I'm trying to remember the mistakes I've made, make sure I don't repeat them again, and then share them with others to make sure you guys don't make the mistakes that I make. As my old mentor, Terry Trailer, used to say, just don't repeat my mistakes. Go make big, messy ones, but just don't repeat the ones I made. So I try to pass that on. Thanks so much for Terry. Now, today's episode, I had a conversation with a sales coach. They've been my coach on and off. And then I've also been reading 10X Rule by Grant Cardone again. I do that every January and July. And then I had a conversation with a friend this week. And we wound up having this conversation about what we're doing with our time. And I shared a question that had been asked of me with this friend. And so the question was this: in your day, if you reduced everything you did only to 2 activities, client care and client acquisition, how much time would you be freed up? So here's what I mean by that. How many things do you do during your day, your work day, that are not client care and client acquisition? If you cleared those things up and just focused on those 2 things, how much time would be freed up? And the answer is usually a lot. Because client care is just that, taking care of our clients. And client acquisition is sales, revenue generation. So if all I did during the day was care for clients and try to get new clients, how would my schedule change? What things would be freed up? It's like, well, I don't know if I would be doing this podcast. For example, this might be a client acquisition process, but it's a small spot in my marketing. And posting on social media might be client acquisition, but that's a small spot of marketing. Client acquisition would be doing things that actually engage with potential clients. That would be me following up on leads, calling, cold calling, texting, emailing. All of the client acquisition or revenue generation would be everything that I do or that you do in a day that actually engages with a potential client with the opportunity for them to do business with you. So if that's the only thing you did for 8 to 10 hours a day was care for your clients and try to gain new clients, all of a sudden it'd be a million things you didn't do. Now, we live in a world where you've got to do admin work. You've got to do a thing, podcasting is part of my marketing process. Content creation, social media takes time. But no matter what, no matter how we approach that, even if we said the 3 things we do are client care, marketing, and client acquisition, we would still find that we're eliminating a bunch of other things we do. I mean, the whole goal in a business is to grow revenue. And most of the time, we're hoping people reach out to us, right? I mean, we post on social media and then hope people see us and reach out to us. Or we do a few things and we hope the phone rings. But rarely does that happen. What actually has to happen is we have to go to clients. And so talking to my sales coach a few months ago, and he's like, Gordon, if you're not happy with your revenue, then what are you doing to increase the revenue? Are you actually reaching out to people who could give you money? If not, where do you think that's going to come from? Now, granted, we do create programs, we create content, we create services, but when it comes down to it, how much hard, solid, client acquisition work do we do? Ask yourself that. Look at your day. If your goal is to grow your revenue in your business, let's say you're a realtor and you want to sell more homes, how much time are you speaking to people who need to sell their homes? If you're meeting the people that might be a referral to you, yes, but all of a sudden that becomes secondary. You're now removed from that person. How much time are you spent interacting with people who need to sell homes? If you are a coach, you might be putting out social media content, but how much time are you doing spending time with people who need your services? No matter what your product or service is, if you want your revenue to grow, you have got to interact with people who can give you money. So think through your days. If you have a bunch of admin work to do, put it on just a certain day. Do it. Make it Monday. I'll do admin all day long. Okay. Content creation. Great. Batch it. Spend one day doing all content creation. And then spend all your time doing two things: caring for clients and client acquisition, calling, emailing, texting, things that put you directly in front of people where you can have a conversation and say, hey, I'd love to do business with you. Can you help me solve your problem? If you and I get to that, we are going to see our revenue grow, because you might go all day and not speak to a potential client. You might go all day and not interact with a potential client. We're not going to make any money that day. Maybe they reach out to you, maybe not. But if we focused on revenue generation, client acquisition, we'll see our revenue grow. So guys, it's a simple question. It will probably play a part in a future seminar that I am playing around with. And I'm not ready to announce it yet. I'm playing around with it. It could be amazing. I think it's going to be amazing if I do it, but I'll leave that. This question would be one of my 4 points. I usually do 3 points. This seminar would have 4, but look out for that. And hey guys, reach out to me. I got a crazy, incredible 4th of July weekend special for Capitalized Academy, 76% off. And I know this does not release until Sunday and Monday, but when you're hearing this, reach out to me and see if I have any spots left. Capitalized Academy is 76% off to celebrate 4th of July weekend. And I would love to give that to you at that special and that value savings. So I hope you have a great week. I hope you gain a ton of clients. Hope you grow your revenue. And guys, I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.